I grew up around all the originals, first of all, they all raised me. Original OGs, original ones that started all this. And see, as a child, growing up in that lifestyle, me and Larry, we come up together as kids, so we seen all the best of them, all of them coming up in our life.
So hear what I say, for it is the truth you see. There can only be one, the original.
OG, two letters that define respect. Welcome to the original OGs. I created the original OGs to document the forgotten parts of American history. I want to recognize and give a voice to the men and women that have climbed to the top of their game. Believe me, the men and women that sit in front of this marquee have been authenticated as original OGs. My name is Mr. Rick. Welcome to my world, a world of the originals, the unique. Welcome to the original OGs. And welcome to the original OG. I'm your host, OG Mr. Rick. Some very interesting guests, the sons of some very prominent and interesting gentlemen. The son of Larry Hoover and David Barksdale.
My name is Larry Hoover Bernard. I'm the oldest son of Larry Hoover.
My name is Kelly. I'm the oldest son of King David Barksdale.
What was it like growing up in the shadow of these two powerful men?
Well, with my life, growing up, standing in the shadow of my father, I grew up around all the originals, first of all, they all raised me. Original OGs, original ones that started all this. And see, as a child, growing up in that lifestyle, me and Larry, we come up together as kids. I'm talking from 9 years old. We done everything together. So we seen all the best of them, all of them coming up in our life. I've been around his father. We've been around all Shorty and all these guys, all the original guys that we know Uncle Shot and them. So we was always there. And the change came about, in time, but things that we went through that we get farther into. But that's the way I was raised, around those that have actually started all these things, that created the things that we consider, the world consider, was wrong, but we know the right.
I want to keep that thought about, you said when the change took place, but we want to go to Larry first,
Yes,
and then come back to that. So what was that experience like for you, brother?
Well, when I was coming up, as he said, we grew up around all the originals, And as a child, I didn't know who my father was. I'm saying,
That's
I
what
didn't
I'm
know
talking
he
about.
was who he, you know what I'm saying, I just know I was being treated special around the neighborhood and everybody called me Little Larry and everything. And I never just really just grasped like he was the man. You know what I'm saying?
I get
I was raised in the prisons. Been going to see him all my life. I ain't never had no stepfathers or none of that stuff. My father was in prison. I had a good life though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, went to the best schools, everything. I chose the street. You know what I'm saying? I chose the street. I ain't have to be doing none of the stuff I was doing. But yeah, I mean, all in all, like I said, I had a good life. Good parents. Good mother. I come from both sides of my family, good people.
both of you gentlemen, your lives have been, on your parents' side, sacrificial. You not growing up with your father at all, you growing up with your father in a position to whereas you can't really share life with your father. See, when you're born into this thing, it's a whole nother different game. I understand that. I'm trying to illustrate the power they had, so I can only imagine the power that you were born into. Am I communicating?
Yeah.
What was it like for you, Larry, having to live a life with your father through the institution?
My grandmother, she took me. I cannot remember not going to see my father. I'm talking about every single weekend. I'm talking about
I get
from a
it.
kid on up till I was old enough to go myself. I mean, we missed a weekend. I can't remember it.
Right.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was always, there. You know what I'm saying? I knew everybody in the prison, the wardens, the lieutenants. I knew everybody, all the inmates. And you know, he was always there, educating me and everything, keep me on the straight and narrow. You know what I'm saying? Even though I still swayed, doing my own thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you said born into the power, born into power, me myself, like I said, there was no big eyes, little U's with me. You know what I'm saying? I never tried to be more than the other guy. You know what I'm saying? I had to respect all day long. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I mean, but I didn't never try to, pimp my authority. Put it that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why all my people, they love me. My whole neighborhood, everybody loved me. I'm able to go anywhere I want to in the city of Chicago because I never tried to come off like I was.
Right.
I'm that man's son. This, that, and the other. Woo, woo, woo.
You also knew that every week you had to go see the old man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I've had to go see him several times on,
Okay.
messed up thing.
Hey man, ain't what we do.
Right.
And that's interesting, Dave. You have pretty much the other end of the story.
Yeah.
Your father's gone. You don't have that person to turn to in or out of prison. So how do you face the world?
Well, the way I faced the world coming up, I had all them there and his dad there. Even I had to go see his father too.
Okay.
Constantly. And then I had all the his organizations there that raised me. The streets raised me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The streets raised me as a child. The streets taught me the things I learned in life as a child from the streets.
Right.
But the decisions I made was my choice, not theirs. They was trying to teach me different. They showed both of us different because, like I said, we was together since 9 years old. How we met is a whole nother story. You'd be surprised to hear. Because who would say both king's sons together? He was 9, I was 10. And what happened was, he was riding, he got a brand new bike. Don't know him from a can of paint. Never seen him before in my life. So I'm 10 years old, seeing him on that brand new bike, I hit him upside his head and he took his bike. And how that come about, we met a couple of years later. I come out of St. Charles, because I was in and out of jail as a child because I was raised by the streets. And then when we met at my grandmother's house, we became best friends. We was best friends all our years. We done did everything together, street life together, hustle together, did things in this world together at that particular time. And so in the process of that, we sitting down getting so much money together. We looked at each. I looked over there. We was about 17 now, and I said, you know what? I can't hold this in no longer. You remember back when you was 9 years old, and somebody hit you upside your head, took your bike? I said, that was me.
How did you feel about that? Because I ain't 9 years old no more.
I still pissed off.
He was still mad about that.
I get it.
So I had a whole bunch of money. I think this town not gonna value no.
He'll throw a bunch of money and be talking about some here.
Interesting conversation, interesting point you just made, because when we talk about power, now you just gave a very good illustration here. Here are people trying to give you whatever is connected to the streets.
Mm-hmm.
How do you find your space in the world when all of this is coming at you and you're taking advantage of some of it?
That's true. And it was hard to find the space of our own. We created our own space. What we did was, as a kid, like I said, is it okay to speak to these things? We did as a kid, we changed our neighborhoods. We had people, come around, a guy go around stabbing little kids, and we caught him. Mm-hmm. We jumped out and called him out. We 14, about 14, 15 years old. We called him, and then one of us reaching like, man, they got to do it. So I'm not running no more. We're just gonna go and get to. I whooped the guy.
Right.
Whooped him bad. And so that the whole neighborhood was happy again that we saved the neighborhood from running around hurting the kids and stabbing them. And so at that time, I taught the whole neighborhood how to martial art. and made them go to school.
Right.
I was good with martial art and boxing as a kid.
Right.
And I took that trade definitely after my father. And at that time, the Arabs and them was no saying like they is today in our neighborhood. We was going there, they gonna be in our neighborhood, in our community. Y'all wanted to pay us, and we was just shorted.
Right.
So what happened was our best friend was named Bird. His mother, so they got tired of us coming to making them pay to live in, to be in our community. They hired his mom in the store. We walked in the store to pick up our next thing, and there she was. What y'all doing there? So, that was part of our journey.
Right.
From that life of being in that way to what we are today, though.
Right. Where you are right now.
Okay, now today in my life, see, most of my life I was in and out of prison. When the world expected me to fail, I refused to fail, even with the power of people around me. But I did not take advantage of that power. I found we made our own way. And so in the course of that time, I educated myself. I said, you know what? Something got to give, because I seen the things that going on in our community that got so out of hand. It wasn't like that when I was coming. We fought. We didn't just pick up a gun. We fought.
Right.
And so today with the things that's going on, I said I had to change this. So I educated myself. So today in my life, I go to the jails when I wasn't able to go walk in the jail to save kids' life and other people. I speak to 300 to 400 people twice a week into the jails. When the judge said, they look at me now not as a criminal, they look at me as a living legend, someone that can help make change. So I go into jails now to show them a better way, teach them how to fill out resumes, show them how to do job programs, show them how to build a business, and show them how to rebuild their community.
Exactly.
So this is what I do today besides my other jobs. So I make sure when they come out, I get them money fat off of house arrest, get them money fat off of work release centers. I go to court for them and get them out of jail and show them something different. And so what I have done besides that, now I have go through the communities and talk to the communities, talk to the kids, to show them not to make the same mistakes I made.
Exactly.
And this is my life I live today. So I also became an ordained minister where I'm able to be an advocate for the streets, for the people, about the people, and with the people to make change for the people.
This show has the intent to define what a real OG is, what an original OG is. My partner and I have developed a method to ensure that if someone should sit in front of this OG logo, that they have been authenticated and found to be true in their history as far as what an OG is.
So I would learn from my father's history, my family, it's his father's history, and others' history, from the things that we went through, and take it back to what they was doing when they was helping the people. They wasn't hurting the people. It's the people that came afterwards that has destroyed our community and our world as a people.
Exactly.
It wasn't them. And so what I want to do is bring back when they was feeding the kids, helping the community, helping with health care and things of that nature. In this life that they live, we can stop this killing in our community today. We can change the expectation of no sin, all the innocent babies die. When a baby died, mama cried. It's called unity within the community. And this is what I'm looking for to do. And this is what I do every day to day of my life,
That's a beautiful thing. Let's share your experience, Larry. Bring some light to the situation of your father.
The corruption and how the system is treating my father. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because he's eligible. The law states that he's to be released.
Right.
They have released everybody on the same case with him, except for him and a few other guys. You know what I'm saying? And it's wrong. It's wrong. And up under the Second Chance Act, he's eligible for this release. He's a model inmate.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying?
What else can he be?
Right. They monitor everything he do, everything he say.
Right.
They know he's not in no trouble. You know what I'm saying? No, they just won't,
Well, some say he's
political prisoner, yeah.
Political prisoner. I say
political
hostage. That's the difference. Highly intelligent.
Oh, yeah.
Highly intelligent,
yes.
And perhaps that has something to do with we can't let this brother out. It'd be totally insane, man.
But we was talking, and I said, this is just recently, too. We was down in Colorado, and I was like, these guys out here think you Jesus Christ.
I'm trying to tell you.
Right. And he said, that's the reason why I'm still in here, because they think I'm Jesus Christ.
I just told you.
Exactly what he said.
I'm telling you, if you do the math on it, they created a monster.
Yeah. They did.
Yeah, they created
They
a
did.
monster.
Yeah.
You know, so they're afraid to let that monster out. You know, I like to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? These brothers was making sacrifices for the people.
Oh, yeah.
You know, all this, so we're a gang. No, we ain't no goddamn gang, it's an organization. What was it like being around all these original guys, you know, trying to look out for your best interest?
You know, they was teaching me not to make these same mistakes they made. And it was trying to guide me to be better than what they was at that moment in time. And I've looked at back from the 60s when it was when blacks were struggling. They had, and this when these things came about, they came to fight for their community and for poverty and things to that nature in life. And that's what brought about what they consider as organization, which I consider walks of life. And that's how those things came about, because they was fighting for their community at that time. And so I see those things, and I seen that vision of his father's vision, my father's vision, Jeff's vision, others' vision, and I take that what they did then and utilize it today in my life to make a difference within our community, to see why we can't save these babies and it's killing of our kids.
Exactly.
So I want to reconstruct what they did and live, their vision gonna live on through me. See that side of my father, his father, showing that this is their vision. This is their growth and development. This that, that light that they was missing. You know what I'm saying? Not being misled by those that's out there misleading them down the wrong way, a path of destruction.
Exactly.
We have to change that pattern of destruction. They let them down. So we could fix this as a people and as a whole through our voice and through our actions.
For the young brothers and sisters out there, in your observation, what would you like to say to them?
Find out what is their passion. What do they desire in life? I mean, you might want to be a pianist, might want to be a lawyer, a doctor. And I would tell them, you know what I'm saying, go for those things. Don't let pride stand in the way of your friend because you were trying to impress a brother that's standing next to you or a sister over there that you want. Even though I'm the king's son, I wasn't afraid to, you know what I'm saying, do different. And when I
Right.
did different, others started doing different. Because, man, if he can do it, you can too.
For you, Larry, what would you say to the young people out there that's trying to engage in your experience?
Of course, put down them guns, but you know,
Please.
that's easier said than done.
Yeah.
And you know, right now they going through a phase, like we went through phases. You know what I'm saying? You know, it wasn't always hunky-dory for me and him.
No, I get it.
Oh, we was in them streets.
No, I get it.
I'm
I
talking
get
about
it.
down dirty,
Yeah.
banging. I mean, seriously banging.
I get it.
You know, the whole 9 yards. And everything, it just was a phase you going through. Right now, we grow up, we see what you call the opposition or whatever. We see it right now. We just had a little thing in the neighborhood. Everybody came. El Rucas, the El Rucas store, Vice Lords, everybody.
So-called opposition.
Our so-called opposition that we was literally into it with back in the days. I mean, in each other's throat.
Right.
And, you know, and it's just a phase that we went through. You know what I'm saying? A phase. Now they going through a phase, but they going to a point of no return. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, only way that I can see them getting away from it is getting all the way away from it. And then the parents got to be more involved with their kids too. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the youth go, I mean, they just gotta. There's no. All this about they don't even know what it's about, really.
Your next door neighbor is your enemy. There's something wrong with that psychology. If the brother down the street or the sister down the street is your enemy, something wrong with that.
I would love to see him come home, you know, be with the family, you know what I'm saying, you know, for the little couple of years he got left on this earth. You know
No, I
what
get
I'm
it.
saying?
I get it.
You know, and, you know, I wish he could have made it before my grandmother passed, you know, that's all she's waiting on. And, you know, be there for his great-great-grandkids. He got great-grandkids now, you know what I'm saying? That's
Exactly.
all. I just want him to come home and just, you know, live a peaceful life, that's all.
He deserves to do that. And I think whatever it is that we all can do to participate in seeing that happen, I think we owe that. And we're going to have a voice. And I want you to know you're always welcome to come back,
So, thank you.
my man. That's it. That's all.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise.